Good morning, grandkids. I have decided to do my Granny's Bookshelf book reading right now a little different because I especially want to read this book. If you saw my vlog Sunday morning, you will recognize this book that I showed you. Russell Joseph is the creator of the Lucian follower mod, and he wrote this book, Lonely Worlds, and I'm so intrigued with it. I read the first chapter and stopped reading it at the end of it because I was so intrigued at the end. I wanted to share it with you. So I'm going to read the first chapter to you, and if you like it, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll read the rest of the book. It's just a thin book, and I have it separated into 9 different readings. So instead of having Granny Shirl's bookshelf once or twice a month, I'm going to read it every Friday until I finish this book. If you like it, and tell me so in the comments, I'll do that. Otherwise, I'll just read it to myself. But I think you'll like it. Also, I keep forgetting to remind you, I know that so many don't look at the descriptions underneath my vlogs, and that's where I put my mailing address and my links to places. And that's where I have the link to my new Patreon page that you had all been wanting me to make. So don't forget about that. Click down there and find the things I put there for you to read. Okay? So let's read this, The Lonely Worlds by Joseph Russell. If I can get to my starting page. My name is Felix Aiden Lewis, and I am alone. Don't get me wrong, I'm not the never had a girlfriend, nobody loves me kind of alone, but more the literal, I haven't seen another human being in over a year kind of alone. As far as I know, I'm the only person on this planet. That's kind of hard to come to terms with. Where am I? God knows. Does it even matter? It's somewhere flat with plenty of grass, the occasional twisted shrub, and nothing that moves whatsoever. It's not a dead world, but might as well be. And that has its perks. Nothing's trying to kill me here, which is a welcome change. And while the shrubs taste of dust and little else, they seem to be keeping me alive. Water is trickier. It does rain, but the water drains into the parched earth so quickly it's hard to collect much. I haven't come across any rivers or lakes, but what I've found is that the grass itself is the best solution. Mash it up, pour it off the liquid, boil that, and drinking it seems to do the job. It's not exactly pleasant, and eating and drinking the same thing every day is giving me all manner of deficiencies. So in that respect, it's fortunate that I'll be leaving on soon. I always do. I look up at the 2 suns hanging like a pair of red, unblinking eyes above the burnt orange horizon. It's strange here. I can look right at them both, and it doesn't hurt. Of all the worlds I visited, this is the first where you can stare down the sky. I walk for another few hours until my pack feels heavy on my shoulders and the suns are low. I've come to a tree, huge and wild, its great green branches stretching out high above my head. Might as well make camp. What do you think? I asked the tree. Reckon it's as safe here, not hiding any snakes up there, are you? Only a couple, I imagine the tree replying, but they're the fluffy, cuddly kind. Oh, that's a relief, I tell the tree, which I decide looks like a Fred. If I told you the loneliness didn't get to me sometimes, I'd be lying. I sling my pack down on the dirt and pull open the drawstring at the top. I lift out my tent, probably the most useful thing I've found since everything that happened. It was the vultures that led me to them, the best part of a year ago. A world similar to this one, arid and dry, but not as devoid of life. I saw them wheeling in the sky, flocking to some fresh meat. I'd seen wildebeests earlier from afar. If I hurried, I could probably make it there while there was still some meat left. So I practically sprinted across the savannah, but what I found was unexpected. 11 of them altogether, young by the looks of the bodies, my age. That could have been me, I remember thinking. I'm still not sure what exactly killed them. Something big, judging by the depth of the footprints, round and pointed like some giant insect spiders, and the jagged wounds in their corpses could only mean it had very big and sharp teeth. I didn't hang around to find out exactly what. I just took their tents, their food, and trangia, I don't know what that is, and some fuel, and left. The vultures could finish them off. I often wonder where they came from. Home, by the looks of things. Maybe they never even realized they had changed the world. But how had they done so? Were they like me? No, nobody's like me. As I wake the next morning, I can feel it pulling on me, the call to move on. It's hard to describe, kind of like an itch, but not. I know that makes no sense. It's instinctive, certainly, built into my subconscious. And when I try and pin down exactly what it is, I just can't. It's like trying to imagine a new primary color or a 5-sided square. I just know I have to go, and it builds and builds until there's nothing I can do to resist. It's strong now, and I've had enough of this dry, empty world anyway. So I pack up the tent, say goodbye to Fred the tree, and put out the fire, and I go. I don't know how I do it, or why I have to. It's just one moment I'm on the world, and the next I'm there, somewhere else. And this time it's immediately apparent that something is trying to kill me. Literally, I arrive and it's just in my face. This huge, snarling, reptilian engine of death. Kind of like a velociraptor, only bigger and very, very scary. Can you imagine spawning in somewhere right in the face of something that's getting ready to eat you? It roars, and its breath stinks of rancid meat. It doesn't seem startled by my arrival, just hungry. Unsurprisingly, I turn and run. I'm a good runner, even with my pack on. I've had to be this past year or so. It gives chase, bounding across the forest floor, It's a forest I've appeared in, a thick, dense mess of gnarled, twisting trees and thorny undergrowth. I know I won't be able to outrun it. Maybe I can fight. It's huge, and I have no protection against those claws and teeth. I wouldn't stand a chance. But then, what else can I do? Maybe I can move on to another world. I don't feel the call, though, but perhaps I can will myself over. I try, as I run, striving to imagine the sensation, to recreate the mental state, but I can hardly focus on anything as the branches whip by and the ground blurs beneath my feet. I glance over my shoulder. It's nearly on me. With no other options, I draw my knife and turn. Claws flash and I'm on the ground. My knife sinks into its flesh. Its teeth close over my shoulder. Agony. The beast collapses, an arrow in its back. A figure approaches. I pass out. That's the end of the first chapter, and I am totally intrigued. I want to know what has caused him to suddenly travel among worlds. I want to know how in this world someone's there that shot the beast with an arrow and was coming toward him, and he's passed out, so we don't know what's going to happen or how any of this came about, and I want to know. If you want to know also, tune in next Friday and I'll continue reading this. Let me know in the comments how you feel about it, what you think of the story, and if you want me to do this for the next 9 weeks. I will talk to you guys later. Have a good day. Bye-bye, grandkids.